What's going on, folks? I'm just in the backyard today doing a little get my CBE Trek lined up for my new Elite Omnia. I've done a video on this before, but I feel like I could probably clear it up a little bit better on this video. So if you have the Trek Pro or you're thinking about the CBE Trek Pro, this will help you out, kind of get things lined up like they need to be. Now this bow is awesome. This sight is awesome. One cool thing that I want to make sure that you look for on this site is there's 2 needle indicators. All right. So once I show you kind of the steps of how to set this thing up, is the top indicator I'll have on my 20-yard mark, and my bottom indicator will be on my probably like 44-yard mark. But whenever you dial it down to a longer distance, say you go down to 60 yards, then your top indicator comes down as well, and wherever that top indicator is sitting, it's good for that yardage also. Super cool sight. So here you go. So this is kind of what I got going on today, and this is my Elite bow. Got all my little tools out here, and this is the Trek Pro sight. So you can see there, it's very well made. Let me set this bow down so I can kind of show you a little bit. So there's the carbon bar. There's your slider. I'm a 5-pin kind of guy, so I have my top one set at 20. I'm gonna finish getting those dialed in. I've been shooting this bow a pretty good bit with this sight, but I had to get my third axis done for a Montana hunt, make sure my sight was all leveled up. So now I'm fixing to get, once I got it all leveled up, now I'm fixing to get it dialed in. So, but what I was talking about on the indicator is right here. So you can see right there, those are your 2 needle indicators, and that'll show you where the pins are, or what your yardages is for each one of those needle indicators. So stay tuned for a little bit of fun here on a Saturday. It's hot in Mississippi, but hey, got to get it done, leaving for Montana in August. Stay tuned, folks. All right, I'm back. Got my pins set, dialed in and everything, and as you can see there, that's the pins. I'm gonna make a mark on that top red indicator. Indicator would be the one on the right that you're looking at. Put a mark right there because that's where my 20-yard is at, and then I'm gonna move it up to where I'm gonna shoot my top pin. My bottom pin, excuse me. I'm going to put my bottom pin right there. I'm going to shoot it at 30, and I'm going to shoot it at 60, and I'm going to make marks on the tape right there. Then I'm going to get my tapes out and go from there. So hang tight. All right, I have it dialed in at 30. One thing I want to make sure that you kind of see here is the needles right there are above where I can mark it, but there's a screw, or there's a bolt right there. I'm gonna undo it. I can slide this right on down so that way I can make my mark where my 30 was, and then I'm gonna shoot the 60. So I'll show you that in just a second. Okay, just so I'm clear about what I just did, I undid this bolt here. I loosened it up a little bit, and you can see here that these indicator pins can move up and down. Well, whenever I got my bottom floater pin dead on at 30, I dialed it up and I got it dead on at 30. So what I'm gonna have to do is move this to about right there, and then I'm gonna make a mark right there where that bottom needle is, and that's gonna be my 30-yard mark. And this is for my sight tape. So give me just a second and I'll show you what I'm doing there. All right, so I got that tightened back down, and now I'm going to make a mark right here on this last one, make a little line there. Remember, that's my little 20 mark. I just do that just for a reference, but the 30-yard pin mark is going to be right there, and I'll get that done and come right back to you. All right, you can see right there where I put my mark at. We can get the focus on here. See where I put the mark at right there on that pin, and now I'm going to back up. I'm going to dial my bow down, and I'm going to put my bottom pin, which is my floating pin, the bottom pin right there. I'm going to dial my dialer down, and I'm going to set it at 60 yards. And then I'm going to make a mark, and then we'll be coming back to you with that. So hang tight. All right, here's a good reference for you. So that's at 60. Still a little bit short, so I need to dial my sight housing down a little bit more with the slider. And then once I get it to where it hits in that little yellow balloon I got set up there for to be able to see, we'll tape it off. So, but you just continue to move your slider down until you get your bow set on 60, and then we're going to make another mark. Hang tight. All right, I just made that last 60 shot. It's still a little bit low. I'll have to dial it down a little bit more, so hang tight, folks. Good times. 60 yards. Pretty dang close. Pretty dang close. And that's probably my shooting a little bit too, so. I think I'm gonna mark it right there at 60. Roll with it, baby. Hang tight, coming back with some more. Ooh, bugs getting on my mouth. All right, so the bottom red indicator, which is right here, that one right there, I'm fixing to put a mark right there, and then I'm gonna take this whole tape off with some screws right here on the tops and the bottom there. I'm gonna take that off, and I'm gonna get my gauge out, and then we're gonna see which one we got. We got our 30-yard mark and our 60-yard mark with the bottom pin of the sight. So I'm gonna get that marked, and I'm gonna get my tape out, and I'm gonna show you what we're doing. All right, so I got that bottom one marked right there, and I'm gonna get it off and get the tape on it. All right, so here, well, I could do a couple of quick things here though. You have different colored rings that if you don't like the green on the housing, you can put different colors on there if you like. It comes with it. All right, so here are the different gauges, or actually tapes that you'll put on there once you figure out what your gauge is. And here's the actual tool gauge here. So as you can see there, it's got a 30 mark, and then it's got a bunch of different letters and stuff right here. But there's where your 30 mark is gonna be where you marked it at the top of your tape, which mine is right here. And then the 60-yard mark right there. So you're gonna put your 30 right there, and you're gonna line it up with whatever letter, and that's gonna be the tape that you'll use, like some of these here. Okay, I have the gauge. As you can see, the 30 is right there on that top mark, and the bottom one is gonna be right there on G. So now I go over here and get my tapes that have the G on it, and we're good to go, baby. Hang tight. All right. Just here's a little tip for you. You want to make sure. So you can see there on my bottom pin that I last shot my bow at 60. So now I'm gonna move that needle to 60, but I've exhausted as far as that needle will go already. But CBE has provided another needle that actually will be able to cover that in instances where the needle is not touching with the standard needles that they have. So I'm gonna take that needle off, and then I'm gonna move this needle to 60, and I'll know that my bottom pin is set, and then I'm gonna shoot my bow at 20. And whenever I get it dialed in at 20, I will set my top needle at 20 on the gauge. Quick little tip there. All right, so I got my other needle on there, or indicator needle for the, put it up there at 60. And went back, and my last pin is set for 52 yards. So once I got my pin set to 60, whenever I had it dialed in, I was shooting 60. Got the pin set on 60, moved it up to 52 yards, which is what my bottom pin is when my top pin's at 20. I hope this isn't confusing, but when my top pin is 20, my bottom pin is at 52. That's what I got it sighted in at. So I moved my dial up to 52 with the indicator, and I shot it at 52, and it's dead on. So if you follow these directions that I gave you today, some little tips there, if you got any questions, you can shoot me a message on or comment on my YouTube page. But I'm gonna shoot my bow at 20, and then I'm gonna set my top needle at 20, and then my top needle will be at 20, and my bottom needle will be at 52. That's where I'll have it set. Now, if there are further distances past 52 yards that I'm going to shoot, I will dial it to whatever that yardage is, 60, 70, 80, 58. I mean, yeah, whatever the yardage is, I can dial it up to that, and that sight is going to have that arrow. As long as you can hold it, that arrow is going to hit at that yardage. So great sight. I hope you like this review. I hope you like this instructional video. Make sure to like, subscribe, and all that kind of good stuff on my channel. And we'll have some hunts, hopefully, from Montana coming to you soon. So appreciate everybody watching, and tell your friends to tune into Ridge Rock Hunt Company. Share my video if it helps. If you watch it and it helps, give me a comment or a like. Sure would appreciate it. I'll come back to you with the top needle just to show you the final deal. How about that? All right, so this is what the final deal looks like, folks. So you see there at the top, I have the 20 pin to the top needle, the red needle on 20, and I have the bottom needle at 52. I just shot my bow at 52 and I shot it at 20, and it's dead on. So this is a super cool bow sight. I have the 5-pin because I love the 5-pin. They have 1 pin or 3 pins, but it's pretty easy. A lot of options here to adjustments. It's got a 2nd axis, 3rd axis. So super cool sight here from Custom Bow Equipment with the Trek Pro. And anyway, stay tuned. Hope everybody gets their Trek Pro set up. And this is a solidly built sight, and it always is by CBE. So anyway, check them out. Well, that's going to wrap it up today, folks. I appreciate y'all watching, and we'll be seeing you soon, hopefully. This ain't no game. Ridge Rock Hunt Company. Coming to you on the old YouTube. Y'all have a good day.